Now here's something you see probably multiple times a day, a message coming in from Microsoft Teams, and that does interrupt us in our flow of work, doesn't it? We get a banner pop up, and what I like to do is go through a few of these options about how I respond and how I try and stay in the flow of work or deal with something at the time. First of all, the banner message that pops up, it allows me to go in and create a quick reply, and I usually use this to let people know, hey, can I get back to you? I'm not expecting to try and write some long reply. There's only just enough of the message for me to see is it urgent or not, so I'm just going to respond here with, can I get back to you? Right, so that's enough to set the expectation that I will come back to that person. I can get back to what I was doing. But what if there was something that I did need to take a closer look at, and maybe I clicked on that banner and I wanted to just maybe decide based on the message whether I wanted to respond or not. So I click open and see the message, and I've got the options, of course. While I'm in the mode of looking at the message, I can make a video call, a voice call, or I can even just share my screen. So this could be one way that if I wanted to just share my screen and show what I could do in response, I could do that, stay in the chat, and then exit that. Something else that I might do when I've just responded in the banner is perhaps I've forgotten to change my status and show that I want to have some focused time. So a few options that you've got up here is you can click on your status in Teams, and you might not use this often enough, but sure, you could change it to Do Not Disturb, reduce all the interruptions. But check out duration. If you're not using this frequently enough, make use of it. This means that I can set my status to something like busy or do not disturb, and I can set a time for how long I might want to stay in that state. So for do not disturb, I've just said to Laura, can I get back to you? I'm going to set that do not disturb to 30 minutes. And that way I can just focus on what I'm doing, finish it off in 30 minutes time, then get back to Laura. To further help me keep track of messages like this when I do want to get back to it later, we have seen in previous video that you can turn this into a task. So that's clicking on the message using the three dots and creating a task. And then you can deal with that task. You can block time out in your calendar to do that. We've covered that before. But one other thing that you can do, even if it's just as simple as pinning this. So same area, you can click and pin, and that means that the message is not going to get lost somewhere in the additional conversation that we might have. Maybe Laura is going to continue to add instructions or things in the list that she wants me to do. But I've pinned this message now so I can go back to it and easily find it in the list. The other way I actually will show you, and it's not directly related to the message, but within chat you do have that option to go down to your messaging extensions, and you can set up a meeting from here. So we've got the calendar button, schedule a meeting, and that brings up another window where you can add the title, check if Laura's free, for example. You can add in the location for where the meeting is, of course, add in notes and various things that you might want to put ahead of time, and the scheduling assistant, which is pretty useful when you're trying to find some time in a person's calendar that's not going to interrupt their flow of work. So those are a few options for dealing with a message, whether it's setting that expectation to say that you're going to get back to them, changing your status so you can focus on what you're currently working on, and then also being able to deal with that message or schedule some time with people to get back to them and help them out with their query.